Just a real quick video. I was on my lunch break, and I was just thinking about something as I'm, going on social media, looking at other content creators' posts, and commenting and this and that, right? And posting my own content. Is that people they say they like, you know, the real. They say they like uh people that are direct, that are upfront, and stuff like that. But the reality of it is that most people don't. Most people want a fluff leader. They want a fluff creator, content creator to follow or whatever. They tend to gravitate towards people that are just uh, all pizzazz and no substance. I've That's what I've come to understand, because it seems like people will gravitate towards and willingly throw their money at influencers who do a lot of fluff content, whether it's a post or whether it's videos or whatnot, where all they're mainly talking about and bragging about is how much money they're making or whatever. But um and also those same type of people, they have no problems with going and spending thousands of dollars, you know to go to school or whatever. But then somebody that they could know personally, who has accomplished a lot of things or is doing some things that they are want to do, they expect for that person to basically give them all of their knowledge and information for free with absolutely no compensation. But they'll go and throw money at a complete stranger because that person is putting up all this hype and stuff like that. And hello, so hello mom, not sure who that is. But yeah, so they will have no problems with paying someone who they don't even know, and who is just putting up a bunch of hype and stuff like that. But then someone that they actually do know, and they know this person's track record, they expect for all of that, for that person to give all of their information to them for absolutely free. I have literally only been compensated for my knowledge, because I'm a teacher at heart. um, I love, it's a big passion of mine to share my knowledge with other people. And thanks for the flowers emojis. um, but I love doing that. I have no problem with doing that. And I've only twice in my life actually been compensated for doing that when it wasn't my actual job to do so. Once was when, actually three times, I take that back. So three times. Once a friend of mine's got me a public speaking um, gig in the city of San Francisco. This was years ago, back in like 2006 or something like that, 2007, something like that. And then the other person um, was a client who I was pushed out there to put together a marketing coaching program. And back before, this was before we had all the social media and stuff. This was before Facebook and all that stuff, right? So it was a lot harder to be a coach and a content creator and all that type of stuff. It was a lot harder to do that. um, and so the person that I had a book publishing coaching business with, he pushed me to create my own coaching program because we were mainly focusing on pushing him. And I reluctantly did it, and I was like nervous, and I was afraid to put a high price tag on there, until this former business partner of mine he read down my resume and everything that I had accomplished up to that point, and he showed me how, I have been a coach, a mentor, a teacher, basically all my life, but it was disguised in other roles, right? And I hadn't really looked at it that way or really realized it. And he was like, you've invested all this time and energy and money into your own education, formal education in terms of, college degrees, and also informal, reading books myself, listening to audiobooks and all that type of stuff, and actually paying to go to um, programs and stuff like that as well. And so he said, I think you should do a package deal where you're doing 8 coaching sessions and stick $5,000 price tag on there. And I was like, are you serious? I thought there's no way somebody's gonna pay me $5,000. And he convinced me to change my thinking. And once I changed my thinking and I put that out there into the universe, we went to a seminar, where they had, people that were into network marketing, coaching, mentoring, and stuff like that, and entrepreneurs and stuff. And we had our booth for our books and programs and stuff. And so a doctor came by. He was a psychologist. He came by our table, and I, struck up a conversation with him. Found out that he was also an author. He had written a series of children's books and all that. And but he was an older guy. He was probably in his 60s, and so he was struggling with technology and that type of thing. And um, I told him, that I had just launched my coaching, marketing, consulting business. And he was like, oh, okay. He's like, well, how do I sign up? And so I was kind of like, uh, here's my, here's my flyer, whatever, my contact information. And he did not blink an eye when I told him the $5,000 uh, fee. Did not blink an eye, you know, gladly handed over his credit card and had me run it. He had some issues with depression. So we only ended up doing, I think, maybe about 2 sessions. And then he ghosted me, paid me in full, never asked for a refund or nothing, and completely ghosted me. Wouldn't return my calls, wouldn't return emails, nothing. But, and then the other time where a person actually, paid me for my expertise and advice is a friend of mine that I've known for years, over probably almost, let's see, my oldest daughter is 30. So I've known Damon for, since my oldest was probably about 4. So I've known him almost 30 years. Um, and anyways, he knows my background in finance, residential real estate, and now commercial as well. And, marketing and stuff like that. Cause he's seen me over the years do different, things and stuff. And so he, he was getting ready, preparing to retire, and in a few years. And so he called me up and he asked me if he could, bounce some things off of me in terms of him getting ready to retire, and what I thought he should do with his 401k and stuff like that. And so I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I would have talked to him for free. I wasn't expecting anything from him whatsoever. And but he was like, no, 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 you know, this is what you do. You've worked hard to learn all this information that you spent your own money, getting yourself educated, getting yourself licensed or certified or whatever the case was at the time. And he was like, you deserve to be compensated. He's like, I want to schedule a 30-minute session with you. And he's like, what's your rate? And I was like, I didn't want to really like give him a number, right? And and he was like, I'll tell you what, because I didn't really want to give him a number. And so he was like, I'll give you $75 for a 30-minute consultation. And I was like, okay. And he was like, and I won't take no for an answer. You will accept my $75. I was like, okay. And we set up the consultation, everything, and I did the consultation with him and everything, and gave him some suggestions and some advice, and referred him to some um, outside sources in terms of materials to do more research before he made his made his final decision or whatever. um, but other than that, those have been the only times. Everybody else, they, family included, they expect for you to just impart onto them everything that's in your head that you've learned or thought through either formal education or self-taught, and just all of the life experiences or whatever, and you're supposed to just impart all of that to them for nothing. And then, which wouldn't be as, and then they add insult to injury, because one thing, a big pet peeve of mine is if I'm showing you something or I'm explaining something to you, and then you keep asking me the same questions to re-show you or whatever, or re-explain. That will irritate me so freaking fast, and I have zero patience for that, because I take that as a sign of complete and utter disrespect. And so I will immediately cut cut that short, because that is just so disrespectful. I feel like if somebody is taking the time to show you something or explain something to you, the least you could do is take notes, you know but to sit there and keep asking them, coming back to them, asking them the same stuff over and over again, that is so disrespectful. And so, but anyways, yeah, family included, they expect for you to impart all of your knowledge and wisdom onto them for absolutely nothing. That don't even bother to even offer you anything, like, even if, I can understand you don't got it or whatever, but I mean, you got something you can offer the person, something, even if it's, you know 20 bucks, or something. But anyways, that's my little 2 cents for today. It's just something that popped in my head because of some of the stuff I've seen today as I've been surfing on social media. He said, even though my ankle is now straight, he will always be on. Okay, don't know what that has to do with this conversation, but anyways, um, thanks for you guys logging in that did, log in, and I'll be back later. Deuces. Lunch is over, so gotta end this live. Let's see. How do we do that?